Okay, now we're live in both places. Top of the day, beautiful people. Happy Friday, happy Friday. Put some comments on my lips. All right, beautiful people. Hey. Jamil, shalom, shalom. Set apart living, happy new day. Rise and shine in the Creator's light. Yes, Vinette, greetings, Ray. Hi. Trina, where you go? All right, beautiful people. She just sent me a message. I don't think she thought y'all was catching the flight. Y'all staying longer. Hold on. But she'll see we live in a minute. Yeah, we are catching the flight. How would she come in? For some reason, my notifications for there she go. Trina, I just saw your message coming through. Nah, girl, we ain't staying long. We're leaving. Although I would like to, I really would like to. Like if we stayed longer, I would definitely go get another ticket for Animal Kingdom and go back through there one more again. Especially go through that Pandora ride, the 3D experience, shall I say. But no, as soon as I get done, we're rolling up out of here. Our flight leaves at about 12:30. We should be touching down back home about, is it like 2:51, something like that. All right, yeah, but we up, moving around. All right, beautiful people. Happy Friday, happy Friday. It is I'm sorry, I didn't give you the day. It is September the 9th, 2022, day 209. I'm sorry, I pulled myself all the way together. Let's start over. Because I literally just rolled out of bed. Can y'all see my eyes still half asleep? I set the clock. I knew I wasn't going to make it, but I was just praying and hoping I did. Now, I did hear it, but this was one of them days that my hand reached over and hit it like we didn't have to catch a flight this morning, right? Completely forgot I wasn't busy. I got a few more minutes. Then I woke up at the time I was supposed to be live. I'm like, crap! I'm hopping up, running through here, doing stuff, and everybody was still asleep, except for my wonderful niece. She's already got out of here. She's pretty obedient, right? So I said, girl, if you still need to get some stuff from the gift shop, you better get up while everybody's still getting dressed. Set your clock. But she did. And she left out of here without even checking to see if I was already woke, right? But I went in there to make sure she was up. So it's already gone out of here. Everybody's still asleep. All right. Let's try this again. Hey, everybody. It is September 9th, 2022, day 208 of year 4 of reading through the books of the Law and the Prophets, and of the 4-year consecutive day count, day 1226. Guys, we're going to finish Bond's Book of Praise in Oahspe, picking up on page 579. Yes, girl. No, I'm not already done, but get my bottle of water. Yeah. If you're paying attention, I'll let you end it. I'm sorry, I didn't even say, hold on 1 second, I'll be right back. Hold on. I need my bottle of water. All right, beautiful people, so let's get to it. Father, we thank you for all the audible body. Okay, we back. Sorry. Wi-Fi is acting up. I cut it off. My signal's not that good in here unless I'm on the Disney Wi-Fi. All right, y'all. Page 579. Let's get right into it. 579. All right, page 579, Bond's Book of Praise. This is Sias. This section, the next 8 verses is Sias, S-I-A-S. Praise the Great Spirit, O Petrus and Absad, ye heavenly kingdoms of the Etherean heavens of Fragapati, ye place of the roads of Raga, with 90 million miles of the Ewan plains, and Sitta and Guchmala and Southing, ye heavenly plains, hanging on the mountain line of the Luniti, with 20 million arches over the holy lakes and seas of Onatusa. Let your 90,000 million Etherian angels rejoice in the glory of the Almighty. The footstool of his kingdom hath quickened on the red star. The shout goeth up to Jehovah forever. And ye angels of the vast Orion kingdoms, Yan and Wawak and Z and Alawa and Ali and Ref and Zuth, ye foundations of the highway of the Ugan Hisawa, ye swamps and plains of Si Ni Yivi. Proclaim ye the fruits of Lu, the art of the organizer of mortal kingdoms on the earth. The omnipotent hath spoken, and the high heaven of Cosmon spoken out of the fruit of Lu. Call up Rapaya and Henosa, the Etherian kingdoms, with the angels of the Yim arches, and the high bridge of lips over the Etherian sea of the burning waters of Vextakad. Sing unto the Almighty, ye heavens that sent volunteers in the army of Fragapati. The fruit of your labor riseth on high. Kus and Zetayabah, ye the voice of the Almighty. He speaketh in the labor of high-raised sons and daughters. His voice is in the echo of thanksgiving that riseth up from the red star in songs of praise to the Almighty. I like this last verse. Elijah, shalom, shalom. What you say? A grand rising, the Creator's peace be with you all. Stephen, infinite rise and beautiful beloved family, just about to get some sleep. Just chiming in for a bit. Y'all stay blessed. Get you some sleep, bruh. All right, next section is Jaus. I think that's how you say it. Jaus is also 8 verses. Oh, that I could sing worthily unto thee in praise of the ark of Speda for thy mightiness. Oh, that I could find mortal words to magnify thy vast kingdoms and thy great goodness. Spencer Armige and her mighty Etherian legions that came down to earth. Oh, what a glory in thy praise. Who can forget thy heaven to Rashish, thou Almighty? And Hoi Sati, and Haldos, and Luga, and Bonasa, and Tul, and Speda Ark, with their 10 million seas and their 100 million crystal rivers in the arches of Wu, with their 80,000 million high-raised gods and goddesses, with their 160,000 million miles of Etherian roadways and capitals, and thou, Solastus Plains, with thy 12 million arches in the waters of Waltad, with 70 million shipbuilders, the workers and handlers of thy immortal fire, and the Etherian kingdoms of Hards and Ewait, and Colin Potabin, and Ebralik, and Lugan, and Afgai, and Riv, and Lernzan, with their 200,000 million miles of arches built unto thee. Let them rejoice in thy name, and in the fruit of the garden of thy daughter, Spencer Armige, for the harvest is ripened unto thee. Thy sons and daughters answer to the echo on the mortal earth, but there is one Almighty. Let us sing unto the boundless, the everlasting Creator. The next section is Niv. Hold on, wait a minute. Hold on.
So much attention to it.
Because they're going to see you walk out. So for a quick second, I'm going to cover up the cameras. Hold on, people. All right, back. Go ahead, walk in. And we're back. Okay. Next section. Niv. Holy, 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 O Ban, thou art of the fountain of preserved records. Thy labor is done. The earth is surrounded by the faithfulness of Jehovah. The shout of gladness riseth up from mortals for the glory of the Almighty. The harvest of your labor, Esdras and Widojane and Meut, ye Ethereal kingdoms, and the high heavens of the great spirit, with your 90,000 million angels and the songs of the Most High, proclaim it in your seas of fire, Jehovah hath won. This just reminded me of this debate last night when it says Jehovah hath won. Let me tell y'all something. I was there for a little while before I even said anything. Let me just give my 2 cents. If I may, I know you ain't asked for it. Although we know the Creator won, nobody could really tell that last night that the Creator won. And I'd say that only because that the gentleman, I don't even think the gentleman that was going against was battling with Cosmo and Cal. I don't think how can I say this? I don't even think his interest was piqued in a way that he would even yet go pick up the Oahspe just to do a second battle against Cosmo and Cal. I don't think he'd even go open it up just to even look and see what's there, right? I don't know. Okay, so here's what I think. This is my 2 cents. Because I was like, man, dude he don't even seem like he listening. It seemed like he was listening just for his turn to get his point across without even considering the information coming back and forth. Now, I would say the faith is definitely having an advantage because we were once where he was at, right? But he hasn't been where we're at yet. So battling him or anybody who hasn't even read Oahspe yet or hasn't even really just done a good reference study on, I know it's the battle of the holy books and any kind of questions could be asked. He wasn't prepared for it. Even at the end, remember how I always say, Paul didn't got people already pumped and primed to not even listen to us. And he was like case in point of that to me, because when he started rattling off the stuff that Paul said in Ephesians, I'm like, oh, this is what I be talking about. It really wasn't a debate, you know. I enjoyed listening to it because I forgot it was happening. And I came in like the last hour of it. I was like, oh, snap, I forgot this was happening tonight. You know, so I was listening to it. I'm going to go back. I want to listen to like the part that I missed probably while we were going through the airport. I'm going to just kind of let it play in my ear. But I don't even... Okay, so clearly we know until people really start, let's just see what these crazy people talking about. I'm gonna just get one. I think it should be somebody that's so on fire about the Hebrew scriptures that truly want to really give a good debate, not arguing back and forth and getting into their feelings. Not saying anybody who's getting into their feelings, but somebody who is a true debater, a true researcher, you know, so they can actually have a real debate going back and forth with facts and different historical things. But I think when we debate, or whoever debates, if we already know that they haven't even cracked the Oahspe, or they did what it seemed to me, I'm not saying he did, but it seemed to me that he cherry picked stuff, right? He read the intro about John Nubero, right? But he hasn't read through the information in it. Here's what I think I think when we debate somebody that we know is going to cherry pick, that hasn't taken the time to read through it, and we'll know that. It depends. If people talk to them, you'll know whether or not they done read through it or really gave it some serious thought. I think people are too scared just to give it some serious thought, even if just to prove it wrong, right? Yeah, Cosmo definitely presented facts. And it seems like he was giving more of his his own feelings, and because he was saying, he said, what I feel, well, here is how I'm going to explain it to you. And that's not really what the debate was about. It was about the battle of the holy books. Prove the facts that you find in your holy books with the questions that are answered, right? Not how you feel. I mean, you can give your interpretation if it's a part of your answer on how you came to the understanding. Oh, wow, this, I realize this is a true fact found here, there. We seen it here. I think when we debate somebody like that hasn't even cracked it for real, to give it real consideration, even just to prove it wrong. Just like some people find themselves trying to, well, like say I've seen quite a few instances where Muslims will go and try to disprove Jesus, but the people who he's trying to disprove is so much more stronger in their faith in Jesus than they are with the Muslims, and they end up converting Islam to Christianity. I'm like, you went from one mess to another. But I think first we need to find points that we both agree on, right? We can agree that they love the Almighty, right? We all love the Almighty. We still use the term from time to time, right? I think at the beginning, not saying that you should set them up, but I think you should start it. You got to kind of like fill them out, right? So you can see what type of questions you need to ask to really make them think, right? Like really fill them out. We agree. Even if they don't call them a creator, even if they're thinking that who they believe is the creator, but it's a God, there is a way to like talk to them. You got to get agreeable with them. It's like you don't want to make them your enemy throughout the debate. You really want to make a new friend, somebody, even if they was really wanting to come against you and what you were saying, at least be like, okay, this is somebody I can really go back and forth with, and they won't get all in their emotions or whatever, and they can really like have a conversation, because that's what a debate is about. It's about having a conversation, going back and forth without taking shots at people personally, without making them feel like they're dumb because they don't know something. It's really because they didn't write the information they're presenting, and we definitely didn't write the information we're presenting. It should be definitely a dialogue back and forth with two scholars or two researchers bringing together their facts, seeing what is good and what is not, what we need to put to the side, right? Set apart. I absolutely believe that for these debates, reading Oahspe needs to be a prerequisite. That's what I think. That's what I think, because they're just not going to listen, and it's just going to be more the same of what's been happening, right? Especially because Oahspe fills in that spiritual part, the what's happening spiritually. I think even a prerequisite with taking a debate, have you had spiritual encounters, right? Because if they had spiritual encounters, ask them, I guess it's kind of church lingo, do you believe in the gifts of the Spirit? If you really want to call it gifts of the Spirit, right? Or do you believe that prophecy is real? Is prophecy real? Like the thing with they got into the automatic, right? I'm like, everybody always bring it up. I think there should be a better way to answer that question when they throw it up, because that's how one of the main ways they're really trying to disprove. And he left like, yeah, it ain't nothing. It's this dude, he thought about this. This came out of himself, how he channeled the information. Technically, it is a channeling, but it wasn't like a channeling that he was seeking for real. You know, he cleaned up his life, and it was just his daily habit of getting up, being clean, just a ritual, having his devotion time early in the morning, right? He didn't ask for them to come. The Spirit of the Creator decided to download the information into him, right? And that's how it happens all the time. John Newborough just happened to pen the book, but it happens every single day with people who do prophecy, right? People who prophesy or speak words from the Lord or whatever. It's the same process happening. It just looks a little bit different. Some are speaking it with their mouths. Some are seeing it with their eyes. Some are writing it out. It's the same thing. If they don't even believe that happens, they are not even ready. They're not even qualified to take the debate. They really are not, because they're not going to be able to see, and it's just going to be more of this, what we've been seeing. And they think, and in the end, they really think they won. we can tell they didn't, but they still don't know they didn't. So anytime you ask them, I really won it, I presented my facts, I won, right? Because they didn't hear a thing. They heard, I don't think he heard a thing Cal said. From me tuning in the last hour, it was just like, because at the end, even his last 5-minute summation of everything, it's just, you can tell the debate did him no good, right? Okay, but that was just my take. And I don't think he won. And in that regard, I don't think, it says right here, I got on this because it says, proclaim it in all your seas of fire, Jehovah hath won. Clearly, Jehovah, the great creator, the almighty, omnipotent, the ever-present, he won. But Jerron didn't know that last night when this ended, you know? And so that's the thing. He is our brother, and we're really trying to at least open his eyes to get more light deep down in his shana. Now he'd be a source to reckon with if the light could get in and penetrate, right? Because dude, I'm like, he is not backing down. I was like, we need him. We need brothers like Jerron, but we need to get the light in them first, right? They got a little bit of light, but just imagine if the floodgates open, right? Okay. Let's go back. I'll start NIV over again. 579. Holy, 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 O Bon, the ark of the fountain of preserved records. Thy labor is done. The earth is surrounded by the faiths of Jehovah. The shout of gladness riseth up from mortals for the glory of the Almighty. The harvest of your labor, Esdras and Wedojain and Miyut, ye Etherian kingdoms, in the high heavens of the Great Spirit, with your 90,000 million angels and the songs of the Most High. Proclaim it in your seas of fire, Jehovah hath won. O ye heavenly kingdoms, Takusp, and Kenna, and Beta Puisa, and Luluwanga, sing glory to the All One, the Great Spirit. His hand hath encircled the earth. His name is written and sung in the souls of mortals. There is but one Great Spirit, Jehovah. Proclaim the joy of the earth, O ye Etherian heavens, Lotisib, and Aplong, and Wisklu, and Hotab, with your millions of Etherian seas, and your tens of millions of Etherian plains and high mountains. Rejoice for the joy of mortals, O ye Etherian heavens, Henneset, and Horaxa, and Lon, and Origi, and Sing, and Abo, Lasak, with your holy mountains, ye Tongwas, and 70,000 million miles of plains, ye contributors to mortals, O ye high angels of the Etherian heavens, ye volunteers to Lika, son of Jehovah. Proclaim the Great Spirit in the everlasting heavens of the Great Spirit, Jehovah. Sing an endless song to the Almighty, the creator of hundreds of thousands of millions of Etherian heavens. The red star, the earth is risen. The kingdom of Jehovah resteth on the solid earth. Glorify him in the highest, the All One, who is farther than all the universe, the Almighty Jehovah, your laborers on earth, O ye angels of the Etherian heavens, harvesting unto the Almighty. The next section is Ven, V-E-N. Let us sing to the Maker, Jehovah, O my beloved. Him who is mighty in thought, Jehovah, O my beloved. But he conceiveth, and lo, a creation is done, O my beloved. Jehovah, the Creator, Almighty, O my beloved, sing unto him forever. The next section, 4 verses, Hars, H-A-R-S. All men know him, none deny him, the Creator, who quickened into life all the living out of the Almighty, whose knowledge knoweth all, the whence and thence. Jehovah, I like that, the whence and thence. That might be in our title today. Let me start over. It's only 4 verses. All men know him, none deny him, the Creator, who quickened into life the all living out of the Almighty, whose knowledge knoweth all, the whence and thence. Jehovah, before whom even gods cry out, all is in thee, O Jehovah. Next 4 verses is 2, T-O-O. About what under the sun cannot men defer, but thy mightiness, Jehovah. What? About what under the sun cannot men defer, but thy mightiness, Jehovah. Okay, I was just making sure I was understanding this right. Okay. All right. About what under the sun cannot men defer, but thy mightiness, Jehovah? Where in the heavens have the angels found thy boundaries, or come to the termination? About whose magnitude and existence cannot they differ? But in thee, thou art mighty. Thou alone art the soul and substance, the holy, the only all, the keynote of harmony, Jehovah. Okay, listen. This is kind of like what I was just saying. Remember how I like how they did this, the keynote of harmony. By filling them out at the beginning of the debates, you got to find that keynote, right? That's why you got to ask certain questions when you know, because the whole point is not just to get your point across. The faith is what we know to be the truth. We know it's the truth. They don't know it yet. The purpose of the debates is to win them to the Creator, to see the difference, at least open their eyes so they can see, so they can make a conscious decision to re-look at all over again everything they've been taught and what they've learned with a higher perspective, with a higher light, right? But you got to find that keynote of harmony before it gets started good. I love this. I love this. About what under the sun cannot men differ, but thy mightiness, Jehovah, right? We got to find the keynote. We agree on we think we agree on the same Creator, right? We know we do, but they got to come up just a little bit more. Shebrew, hey sis. About what under the sun cannot men differ, but thy mightiness, Jehovah, right? We can agree on that. You are the mightiest. Where in the heavens have the angels found thy boundaries, or come to the termination? About whose magnitude and existence cannot they differ? But in thee, thou Almighty, thou alone art the soul and substance, the only all, the keynote of harmony, Jehovah. I'm going to put here, beside this one, debate. Find the keynote before it even starts. The next, what's this? 6 verses is O-R. Since thousands of years, thine enemies have risen up, hundreds of gods and lords and saviors, and they cry out, O come thou, believe in my God, believe in my Redeemer. They draw the sword and spear and cry out, fall down, thou heathen, worship my God and Savior, or die. Behold the mighty armies of the Lord, down, thy heathen, or die. Thou alone, Jehovah, standest indestructible and almighty. Thou alone, acceptable and all pleasant. Thou brilliant, thou home of delight, who never deceivest or commandest to war or death. About thee, there can be no dispute. The foundation of all, as thou taughtest in the ancient days, there is but one great Spirit, Jehovah. So today is thy utterance. There is but one, even the All One. What is Osiris? The Savior, or the Osirian principle that men should turn from the Almighty to consider? Or Apollo, or the Apollo principle that man should turn from the Creator to consider? What is Thor, or Thomas, or Yema, or principles of any of these? Or what is their plan of salvation compared to Jehovah? Thou only, O Father, art all sufficient unto all. And I could see that he clearly didn't understand even about the origin of Osiris and how the name has been sullied throughout the multiple generations of people taking on that name. He was instructed and understood a lot of stuff, but some of these basic things, I think if he understood this, he would be open to a little bit more, at least open in Oahspe, right? Because I was like, yeah, you don't know that. Next section, which is 7 verses, Hoth. Thou, my Creator, and of great glory, who fashioned atmosphere full of heavens, adorned in the intermediate world with thy mighty hand, resplendent with holiness and thy praise. Praise be to thee, thou highest, in whom the worlds shine with the light of the Almighty. Thy three great worlds, the corporal, the atmospherian, and the etherian, bright and full of holiness in thy praise. Praise Jehovah, ye atmospherians, ye Elysian fruit of the Almighty. Sing to him in your plateau of millions of cities, in praise of the Creator. Proclaim the multitude of your places. Let Hatawa and Drum and Yochanan sound the trumpets of Jehovah in their 10,000 cities, in their hundreds of thousands of colleges and wide farms, the Almighty forever. And the plateau, Harbor, and Navgad, with their 12,000 shining rivers and their 70,000 cities of the factories of heaven, founded in the fair fields of Jehovah's heavens. Sing ye in praise of the great Spirit, ye heavens that travel with the earth in the vortex Avaniti, ye atmospherian heavens, Ganza and Spiantagatha, with your 1,000,000,000 angels, ye plateaus Gabria, Sagagazan, and Luwanogo, with your 7,000,000 colleges and factories, your heavenly delights for perfecting the spirits of mortals in the ways of the Almighty. Next 8 verses is Rux, R-U-X. Then sang the bound heavens, the atmospherians, first Giovanna, with her 2,000,000 cities in the plateau Wahaputosibi. Almighty Creator, hear thy daughter in the Hazian way, sweet cliffs in the colleges of Tuan, with her 30,000,000 students, swift uprising, marching onward in praise of thee, my Creator, with ample material, O thou boundless, for thy 60,000,000 hosts in jubilee, striving onward in thy praise, buoyant with love and rejoicing in the lessons of the omnipotent, with 7,000,000 factories to train the untutored Elysians, with 7,000,000 factories to train the untutored Elysian, the purpose of the talents thou createst, with all to be most shining lights, in building the house of the Almighty in rapturous industry, with her 2,000,000 nurseries for the spirits of infants, full of delight and songs to Jehovah, with fragrance and delightful plains and forests and shining waters, created by thee, thou all perfect, with my 4,000,000 miles of roadways and atmospherian concerts, wherein thy high-raised angels teach the Elysians how to master the elements thou createst, swift and mighty, proclaiming thy power. O the songs and praises of thy daughter, Giovanna, the heaven of 400,000,000 angels, swift in learning, pure in love, with a choir 1,000,000 strong, to sing and chant to thee on the waters of heaven. O the songs of gladness, the shining robes of thy loved ones, Jehovah, the lessons of wisdom, the growth of talent, the dance and merrymaking, the learning to master thy elements, O thou Almighty. The next 5 verses is Goi, Ghoi. Then Farja sang, thy daughter, O Jehovah, thy Shiligashawaka, uplifted unto thee, thou Almighty. I am thy heaven, O Father, with 6,000,000 cities in the plateau, Shia Chong, far in the grades, with 3,000,000 places of learning for the Elysian, newly risen from the earth, the colleges of Siti Viyan Gakska, on the very high mountain, Hoit Su Ganderoga, heavenly, with 4,000,000 factories and 800,000,000 angels in the high grades, joyous, full of wisdom and song, masterly in thy elements, created by thee, thou Almighty Creator. Well weaned from the earth, and corporal desires, heavenly aspiring, with their heads turned upward and their souls in the way of Jehovah, most righteous and in unison, striving in the way of Jehovah. Oh, that I could find corporal words for the love of my heaven, for the joy of my 800 million, and of heavenly things displayed to mortals, the glorious creations created by the all-light Jehovah. The next 8 verses is Dean Fritz Shalom. I'll just read the first comment. Ding, quick springing in, and loud came the song of heaven, Varahaden with her 1,000 million angels high in the grades. Worshipful Almighty, speak ye my shining rivers of heaven, Hayad, Hayago, and Fuin, and Owa Ganshi, 100,000 miles of water, flowing past my heavenly cities, Ephalt, and Sugath-Thalgo, and Freabs, and Yanad, and Hukfo Makala Sakola, lying under the high mountain, Soidon with 4,000 high arches reared by the Almighty, my 1,000 million rejoicing in Jehovah, thou creator of millions of heavens, stretching far. Oh, that I could find comparisons for mortals to tell them of the glory of my heavens, my places of learning and factories and shipbuilding, shaping vessels for coursing the firmament of the Almighty, of the rules and philosophies of my delightful heavens. Oh, that I could show them the discipline of my 1,000 millions, my army of Jehovah, their high wisdom and their power over the elements created by the Almighty. Oh, that mortals could see my high arches and my heavenly forests and mountains. Oh, that mortals understood to inhabit a world within as well as without. To know the solutions of Jehovah's worlds and the orderly arrangement of the unseen. Praise be unto thee, O Jehovah, thou provider of heaven, Vrahadin with her 1,000 millions. We're on page 581. The next section is also 8 verses. It looks a little longer because the verses are a little longer. And it's Gowh, G-O-W-H, Bronze Yogi, Shalom, Shalom. We're in the book of Bond's Book of Praise. And it's like the book of Psalms, right? It's just stanzas of praise. Just lauding praises on the Creator for all that was created in this world and in the unseen realm, right? Next sang Steinhover, the heaven of the beautiful plateau, Owagawa, surrounded by the heavenly seas, Hyojam and Praj, and Sumakakwa and Yazad. Glory be to thee, Jehovah, in whom my delightful thousands of million angels rejoice with great joy. My 4 million places of learning and my innumerable factories sprung up for the glory of the Almighty. Oh, that I could find earth words for the understanding of mortals, to show them the wonders of Jehovah. And I think that's what we're trying to find, to get the attention of our brothers and sisters, right? Oh, that I could find earth words for the understanding of mortals, to show them the wonders of Jehovah. Oh, that they could sail in the ships of Steinhover and witness the high arches and delightful forests on the shores of Sumakakwa and Yadzad, and understand the teaching of angels, to rise in mastery of the elements created by the Omnipotent. To know the power of union, the secret of the thrift and the delightful heaven Steinhover on the beautiful plateau Ogawaha. Sing unto the Great Spirit, the fountain of all, the all fullness of glory forever. After her came the songs of Naphatat and Gur and Suth, the 3 heavenly places on the plateau Chinja, high raised over the earth division, Europa, Asia, wider than the earth, with their 500,000 million angels and their 40 million cities heavenly, full of delight and great wisdom, high in grades, singing gleefully of their 2,000 rivers and a million high arches. And at the beginning of this sentence, it says with their 500,000 million. After 1,000, it has reference number 2, and number 2 at the bottom says with their 500,000 million angels. I'm going to just read it over and keep going. Verse 6, page 581. At the bottom under gal, on the right hand side at the bottom, because it's a couple verse 6s on this page. Okay. With their 500,000 million angels and their 40 million cities, heavenly, full of delight and great wisdom, high in the grades, singing gleefully of their 2,000 rivers and a million high arches. Next came the song of the heavens, Aden and Magapor, with 4,000 million angels, high in the grades, lauding their 70 million schools and colleges, and their sea, Cynthius, with its waters of silver and gold, and 3 million crystal stalagmites, with her loud song, Jehovah be praised, thou great spirit, who provided unto us thy unspeakable delights. All hail, thou Almighty. Hear the great joy of Aden and Magapor, with their 4,000 million angels rejoicing in thy name, Jehovah. The next section is Ord on page 582, and it is 11 verses. So too Ramas sang next, and of her great plateau, Chikahusa, over the regions of Guatemala. Remember, Guatemala is the Americas, north and south, right? North Guatemala and South Guatemala would be South America. North Guatemala is North America. South Guatemala is South America. But they're known as one, Guatemala. When you say Guatemala, it comprises both, unless you're specifically talking about a region in the north or the southern, right? The southern part. Okay. You want to do that through there? Okay. Oh, you just putting on your toothbrush. Okay. So too Ramas sang next, and of her great plateau, Chikahusa, over the regions of Guatemala, wide as the earth, high raised in the grades, with 3,000 million angels rejoicing in the heavenly mountains, Hosanna Taba and Ode Chiche, Ode Chiche and Hakabda, with 70,000 high arches, and the delightful ocean heavenly. Alright, so just turn on the water for a couple minutes while, y'all get it by now, right? And just take a quick second break. I think they are, Fritz. Your comment, a lack of understanding, no so-called brew debaters. A lack of understanding, no. So-called brew debaters are stepping forward for some reason. I believe some are intimidated by Selah and Cosma. I think so. They could be, or they could be trying to really prepare. I'm just waiting on watching to see. He said, where are the big dogs at? We're going to give them the benefit of the doubt. We're going to say they off reading Oahspe so they can give a good debate to one of the two. We'll know as soon as they come and they open their mouth. And a lot of times, us giving them the benefit of the doubt, they didn't take that benefit and apply it to the time that they took to prepare for the debate. Are you done in there? Sir, you done? No? Okay. I should wait a couple seconds. Yep. Okay. Here. What did you already took your toothbrush out? Huh? You already took your toothbrush out? Oh, okay. All right. Get your dress. Okay. Page 582. So too Ramas sang next, and of her great plateau, Chika Kahusa, over the regions of Gautama, wide as the earth, high raised in the grades, with 3,000 million angels rejoicing in the heavenly mountains, Hosanna Taba, and Old Dead Chiche, and Hakabda, with 70,000 high arches, and the delightful ocean, heavenly. Sociotes, with 3 million shipbuilders, well trained. Let me see if I can just read a little louder. Sociotes, with 3 million shipbuilders, well trained in the elements created by the Creator, wailing in her song, O Jehovah, would that I had earth words for the glories of heaven. Oh, that I could show my delightful places to mortals. Oh, that I could make comparison for the knowledge of mortals. How can I make them comprehend the heavenly ocean, societies habitable within and without, with sparkling waters, colored like a rainbow, for the ship of angels. Hold on, let me cut that on. Cool water. It was too hot. Sorry. Go ahead. All right, Eric, go get dressed. How can I make them comprehend the heavenly ocean, sociotes, habitable within and without, with sparkling waters, colored like a rainbow, for the ships of angels? How can I make them comprehend the wonderful mountain, Odichiche, habitable within and without, with her 30,000 high arches, spanning shining rivers? Oh, that mortals could comprehend. Oh, that mortals could see. With 16 million miles of heavenly roadways, and the great lake, Anapasivi, with its 2 million boats, teaching newborn angels how to master the elements, far-reaching in the firmament of heaven, with otivans to carry millions, coursing along in the gardens of heaven, created by thee, Jehovah, full of delight, strong, powerful, my most orderly heaven, teaching with song and high reverence to the Almighty. Oh, that I could reveal the glories of Farja, thy Shulinga Shawaka, O Jehovah, and the great delight of her 800 millions, gleeful, rapturous in thy praise, glorified by the love of the Almighty. O the forest of my heavens, Sotaramus, created by the Almighty, delightful and awe-inspiring. O the force of my heavens, Sotaramas, created by the Almighty, delightful, awe-inspiring. O the fields of Tosin and Suthagar and Chamus, the creations of the Great Spirit. After her, then sang the heaven Chuk-Asuwin, in the voice of 3 million angels, in her 2 million cities, high in the grades and well disciplined, of her cascades and whirlpools, dangerous places in heaven for inexperienced angels, and lauding tunefully her great rivers and her colleges and factories. Next sang Theotanatus, a heaven with 70 divisions on the plateau, Noyoher Timus, with 2,000 million angels, high in the grades, lauding highly her factories and colleges, and her Isinars, a million musicians. Next sang Hioparsi, a heaven with 1 million cities, high in the grades, with 800,000 miles of roadways, and 800 million angels of delight, rejoicing in their lives and glorifying the Almighty. He's just recounting all the heavenly places he's seen and all the glory and praise that they give to Creator and what they do, where they're at, right? Global purpose, peace, and blessings. Verse 11, page 582. After that sang these great heavens, Hiwasi, Ho-Chong, Haridin, Sagolu, Mason, and Hicha-Cha-Nauskin, lauding their thousands of millions of angels, their millions of cities and places of delight, their mountains and rivers, their lakes and valleys, their colleges and factories where angels are taught to master the elements created by the Great Spirit for the joy of his mighty heavens. Next section is 7 verses. L-E-F. Oh, that I could sing the songs of heaven, thy sweet places of delight, Henoshia and Ochima and Riviokim and Pethsades and Yenades, to find earth words descriptive of their delight for holiness and rejoicing in the Almighty. Oh, that I could display their mountains and valleys, and their wide plains, their shining waters and their forests, and their stalactites and innumerable high arches, their thousands of millions of angels full of joy and loveliness, their wonderful music poured forth in thy praise, Jehovah, their dancing, millions in a dance, their boating and swift excursions, like thoughts in unison flying forth, in mighty power, gleeful and full of romance, high in the grades, spotless, pure, everyone a flower, a star, a diadem in the kingdom of the Almighty. Oh, that I could sing the order of thy heavens and of thy wonderful roadways from one to another, how thou hast planted elements in thy kingdoms, ever trying the skill and knowledge of thy angels, where genius and wisdom ever lead in thy ways, Jehovah. Who but thee, O Father, could create these never-ending varieties of heavens, right? This is amazing. I love Bond and his praise. Look. Bun has got to be very old. He know a whole lot about a whole lot of stuff, which is probably not even the tip of the iceberg of the heavens that our Father has created, right? Who but thee, O Father, could create these never-ending varieties of heavens, these wonderful plateaus, suitable habitations for the spirits of the dead, ever providing the higher to lifting up the lower, in system and good discipline, displaying the wonders of the Almighty. Oh, that I could sing in words to the understanding of mortals, and to such as had been called sinners and most wicked, who had become in time like diadems in thy crown, Jehovah, sparkling bright with perfect holiness. May all the brothers and sisters we find who take the debate, right? May they all become like diadems in our Creator's crown, right? Now, brothers and sisters, we remember that. We'll take it a little bit easy on them while they're progressing in their understanding of who we are and whose we are, right? And who our Father really is. Being able to tell the difference precisely if anybody come faking the funk, pretending to be him, right? EO is the next section, 8 verses. E-O, that's what it's called. Then answered Jehovah to the songs of praise that rose up from his hundreds of thousands of millions to the sum of his mighty creations. Peace, my beloved, and great joy. I have heard your voice of praise. I answer you with millions of new creations, farther than the farthest, boundless. Thousands of millions of years are the works of my hands. I go not about turning water into wine like a magician or professing to raise the dead. But yet I raise the dead, the souls of the dead, into worlds shining, brilliant, full of loveliness. I take them not backward to toil and sorrow, but upward, onward, to heavens of delight that perish not forever. Mine is the tree of life, forever growing, and rich in blossoms and sweet perfumes. The dead are mine, the spirits of the dead, my young blossoms, full of promise, speaking soul words for the glory of my heavens. Whom I quicken into life are mine, and I watch over them fatherly and in great wisdom. Nor suffer I them to go out of being forever. And I provide my heavenly places abroad, boundless, so that the soul of man can never reach the boundary thereof. Though they stray away for a season, yet have I provided them to return to me in the end. And I make them a banquet and provide unto them a feast, a home of love, with music and dancing, even on the threshold of wisdom. Weep not for the dead, O my beloved. I have places of delight for the righteous, full of rejoicing and wonderful, and the soul of the dead entereth therein, as one that emergeth from a veil, to shout with great joy for the provisions I created, plentiful and brilliant. Heaven after heaven have I created, a new surprise of great happiness to my sons and daughters in the way of my resurrections. Rejoice and be merry in holiness. Open your eyes, my beloved, and behold the works of my hands, which I provided to be yours forever. That was friggin' amazing. Next section is 8 verses. Then answered Jehovah to those that wept for the dead, what I have taken away was mine, and I return it to the place it belongeth. But the soul which I also gave, I carry into a new region of delight. In my hand is the spirit of the dead, and I raise it up to the delightful places I created for it. Yea, it shall find its love and rejoice in my arms because of the glory of my heavens. In the times of my seasons, the soul of the dead shall stand by the living and testify to the endless creations which I provided to perish not forever. As a cord that lifteth a weight, so shall be the soul of the dead to those that are stricken in sorrow. And I will uncover my heavens unto those, and my angels shall come down from my exalted heavens by the light of the line of their love, and they shall rejoice in the way of my dominions, and glorify me and my works. Thrice at the times of the setting sun shall ye assemble and sing for the soul of the dead, remembering his virtues in great praise. Then shall ye deliver his spirit into my Asaphs for the mansions I have built, and I will render unto him the delights of my kingdoms according to the light of his understanding. Y'all get that? And I will render unto him the delights of my kingdoms according to the light of his understanding. Like when we debate with people, we got to meet them at their understanding and bring them up from there, right? That's why I say we gotta find that key note of harmony that we can harmonize between the two, right? It's just like ascending I'm gonna use this analogy. It's like ascending the steps to Pharaoh's throne, right? Remember, there were 70 steps that led up to his throne, according to the story, right? When Joseph, he went to ascend the throne, everybody was looking around like, this dude, he a Hebrew, why we even bring him in here? Pharaoh ain't even gonna hear his voice. Because you could only ride as high as the number of languages that you knew and understood, right? And for that, in the king's court, in Pharaoh's court, all 70 languages were present. So there was somebody who could understand and verify that you are in fact speaking this language. You can't fake your way up them steps to Pharaoh, right? Those below cannot go higher, but those higher can definitely come low and teach and help the other people come up, right? If you're low, if you only know one language, your understanding is going to be for that level only, right? And that's kind of like understanding spiritual things. People who take these debates, they only understand the flesh. English, whatever, it doesn't matter if it's English or Spanish, but understanding spiritual things is like that next level of understanding, to where those who understand this also understand this, and they can go between the two. But the ones here only understand this, and they can't even understand those that are up here, right? Which is why these debates seem unfruitful. They cannot understand this. They're here. They don't even understand the things of the spirit yet. Like, they don't even touch on that. I don't even think that they believe it. I don't even know that they have a spirit. They're not fluent in spirit communication. Y'all get it. Set apart, and as long as he is full of dead flesh, it would be hard to overstand. I agree.
Say my purse.
Give that girl her purse. Go back over there. Y'all supposed to be. What are you doing? Okay. Bella, find Princess Jasmine, please. Find Princess Jasmine.
No,
Alright, I'm almost done. Back up. What?
She's in the car.
Oh,
Can we get a stuffed animal for you?
No, close this, please. Okay. Listen. I'm going to read verse 5 again. We almost done. Literally, there's one more section. I think it's Spay. Yep. No, I'm sorry. It's Son. It's two more and they're really short. Okay. I'm going to read verse 5 again, page 583 under Ux. Did I say that? Yeah, Ux. UX. I just didn't spell it. Okay. Thrice, at the times of the setting sun, ye shall assemble and sing for the soul of the dead, remembering his virtues and great praise. Then shall ye deliver his spirit unto my Asaphs for the mansions I have built. And I will render unto him the delights of my kingdoms according to the light of his understanding. And ye shall put away all mourning and all signs of mourning, and learn to understand the way of my resurrection. Rebuke me not, O my beloved, by draping yourselves in black cloth and veils of crape. What I have done, I have done. For the time shall come unto my beloved, when they shall look back and say, it is well. And in the time of Jehovah it happened well, when it so happened. Though we saw not then, we now behold, as gods and goddesses, the way of the Almighty. To sing and to rejoice in me, O my beloved, and to attain great knowledge. These are the roads I created, shining, diversified, and broader than the imagination of man. By death provide I the resurrection of the souls of the dead. Mourn not for my proceedings, O my beloved, but be ye wise and rejoice with discretion in the glory of my creations. Next section is Spay, or Spe, S-P-E. Then answered Jehovah to those who had an infant born, what I have quickened into life, behold, it is my gift. It is a flower of sunshine, molded by a touch of my hand. Provide ye unto it, O my beloved, fence my garden around, that serpents cannot enter. The time shall come when this living soul shall be as a God in my heavens. His light shall be brighter than the sun, right? That's all of our destination. It's going to be a very long time before we get there, but we should be being raised up to Godship, right? Just like as you get, the same thing happened, we get training now. Just like you're born, you get older and you have siblings, eventually the time comes where mom and dad may go out for an hour or two, just test it out. Maybe you babysit, right? Now you're in charge of the home. You're God in proxy, so to speak, for your household. We get this training on every level. You can graduate if you show yourself to be not a good leader or a steward of things. You got to go relearn some stuff, right? It is the same thing. Even when we graduate from this realm, from this school to earth school, and we're born into the spirit where life truly begins, this is all a simulation to train the spirit that needs to be trained, right? That's training for here when we're truly born. The learning doesn't stop. It keeps going. How do we know that? Well, first of all, I don't think if you haven't had any kind of supernatural experience where you don't even realize that you are a spirit who lives in a body here, right? And the two are connected, you won't even get, like, your spiritual understanding of things, it just won't happen, which is why a lot of times I don't even really think, even some people who read Oahspe, from what I've seen, they really don't even get it. They can't even see what has happened even here with the penning of this, right? Even with some of the penning of the other holy books, right? Because some of them happen in another way, but it was by other spirits, right? Other spirits being people or spirits who were one time clothed in flesh, but they now have gone into the unseen realm, right? They're still alive and active. They're all over the place, right? But some are just, their understanding is higher than others, right? Some have turned away from the Creator, and they're here turning others away from the Creator, holding them to religious doctrines and fallacies that are steeped tight and packed into different religious sects. Okay, Then answered Jehovah to those that had an infant born. What I have quickened into life, behold, it is my gift. It is a flower of sunshine, molded by a touch of my hand. Provide ye unto it, O my beloved. Fence my garden around, that serpents cannot enter. The time shall come when this living soul shall be as a God in my heavens. His light shall be brighter than a sun. Then spake Jehovah to the infant, light of my light, O my son, to thee I give the earth and the heavens, to be thine forever, and the waters of the earth and the air of the firmament to be thine forever, and the forests and mountains and valleys to be thy paradise forever, and the oceans and seas to be thine forever. And lastly, O my son, what I gave to no other animal on earth, or in the waters thereof, or in the air of heaven, give I unto thee. Behold, I give thyself to thee. And I give thee guardian angels to walk by thee and show thee my great delights in the way of my resurrections. They shall speak to thy soul to keep thee in the right way. They shall, hold on, let me read this again. Let me read verse 4 again. And I give thee guardian angels to walk by thee and show thee my great delights and the way of my resurrections. They shall speak to thy soul to keep thee in the right way. Hear thou them and follow in the way of thy Creator, and thou shalt rejoice all the days of thy life. But thy corporal eyes and ears and thy corporal judgment give I into thine own hands. Remember, my son, learn thou corporal knowledge through thy soul, for it is of me, and thou shalt not err. But shut out the way of my voice, and follow thy corporal senses only, and thou shalt go down in darkness for a long season. Like what we just saying, right? If you're right here on this flesh level, and you're not understanding the things of the spirit, all that wisdom is going to be shut out to you, right? And you just will not be able to understand. I read this again. But thy corporal eyes, let me just go back to 4. And I give thee guardian angels to walk by thee and show thee my great delights and the way of my resurrections. They shall speak to thy soul and keep thee in the right way. Hear thou them and follow in the way of thy Creator, and thou shalt rejoice all the days of thy life. But thy corporal eyes and ears and thy corporal judgment give I into thy own hands. Remember, my son, learn thou corporal knowledge through thy soul, for it is of me, and thou shalt not err. But shut out the way of my voice, and follow thy corporal senses only, and thou shalt go down in darkness for a long season. Remember thy Creator at all times and seasons, and thou shalt rejoice, because thou art this day brought forth an heir of everlasting life. Then spake Jehovah to the Ashars, the guardian angels. Remember, Ashars are guardian angels. We call them guardian angels here. Then spake Jehovah to the Ashars, the guardian angels, into your keeping, O my beloved, give I this my son, quickened by my very breath to live forever. In your regular turns, watch and watch. Guard ye him from this time forth, for he is the fruit I bequeath unto you. And in due time ye shall render his soul into my Asaphs in heaven, and be glorified therein. Same thing like we do when we receive the flesh, the human flesh baby here, right? And then it's they're here, we give an account of what we did and how we helped raise them up, just like the Ashars got to give an account. And like we pass on to the Ashars. Well, they should pass us on to the Ashars because the parents should go first, right? But sometimes that's switched around. Sometimes the children go first, or for whatever the reason may be or the case may be for that situation. It's the same chain of command all the way through, from the earth to the spiritual realm, right? You have to give account for things that have been put into your care. Audrey, shalom. Then spake to the Ashars, the guardian angels, into your keeping. O my beloved, give I this my son, quickened by my very breath to live forever. In your regular turns, watch and watch. Guard ye him from this time forth, for he is the fruit I bequeath.
Pajamas, Mom. Look.
Well, you want to wear some solid color ones? Look at your bag. I mean, those are not pajamas, but no, they're not pajama pants.
This because it's too big.
It's not. It's fine. Go ask your dad if you can change your shorts to some solid color ones.
I like these.
You like those? Why are you complaining, son? We almost done, y'all. So parents are like Ashars, right? Ashars and Asaphs. We just call parents here mom, pop, mama, daddy. Then spake Jehovah to the Ashars, the guardian angels, into your keeping, O my beloved, give I this my son, quickened by my very breath to live forever. In your regular terms, watch and watch. Guard ye him from this time forth, for he is the fruit I bequeath unto you. And in due time ye shall render his soul unto my Asaphs in heaven, being glorified therein. Nor shall ye ever make yourselves known to him. Here it is again. Look. Here is where growth happens and comes in for us to like raise up higher spiritually, right? Because we have parents here who we can clearly see, but then we also have spiritual parents who we can't see, which are called guardian angels. They're not just watching over us to make sure we stay safe. Tigba, sis, shalom. You was going in with your questions last night. I was like, oh. Let me finish this. We almost done. Look. The thing, like the Ashars have a certain command. They can't make themselves known. They have to learn how to inspire you without them manifesting themselves to you, right? But this also teaches us how to tap in and hear the spirit of our Father, right, and grow spiritually. It by doing this and hearing the inspiration, it actually helps us to grow spiritually, and our knowledge increases exponentially, right? Exponentially. Listen, I'm gonna just go back to 7. I'm gonna keep going. Then spake on page 583 under SPE, SPE, down at verse 7. Then spake Jehovah to the Ashars, the guardian angels, into your keeping, O my beloved, give I this my son, quickened by my very breath to live forever. In your regular terms, watch and watch. Guard ye him from this time forth, for he is the fruit I bequeath unto you. And in due time ye shall render his soul unto my Asaphs in heaven, being glorified therein. Nor shall ye ever make yourselves known to him through his corporal senses, for your labor is with the spirit. But when ye find it rightful, the angels shall approach his corporal understanding. See to it that they be exalted in the way of my everlasting kingdoms. For the plan of my creation is for the resurrection of the soul of man to be forever and ever. No, Bella already asked. How about? Next section, 8 verses. Yad, Y-A-D. Praise be unto thee, Jehovah, who can search out the completeness of thy creation, or know the magnitude of thy places, thou Almighty, and thy endless inventions. Thou shalt be my theme forever, to find the far-seeing devices of my Creator, the work of my soul. I was alone in the world. Angels and men fed not my soul. I was hungered and in gloom. And then I turned to thee, thou Almighty, and thou gavest me new growth. Thou gavest me a new growth, a fruit of life and fire. Hold on. What is the problem? What's the problem?
I was just standing here after I knocked on the door so I could come in. And Zay heard it.
Gosh.
He wanted to open the door.
Y'all leave the door alone. Leave the door alone. Just leave the door alone. Chill out. I'm almost done. Bella, hush. Okay. Praise be unto thee, Jehovah, who can search out the completeness of thy creation, or know the magnitude of thy places, thou Almighty, and thy endless inventions. Thou shalt be my theme forever, to find the far-seeing devices of my Creator, the work of my soul. I was alone in the world. Angels and men fed not my soul. I was hungered and in gloom. Then I turned to thee, thou Almighty, and thou gavest me a new growth, a fruit of life and fire, which grew brighter and brighter. And my vision was recovered, and thy heavens were opened as a book is opened. And I drank of thy waters, and ate of the tree of the resurrection to thy everlasting kingdoms. The secret of thy wisdom, O Jehovah, was uncovered. The way of thy mightiness made imperishable forever. And the last 4 verses of the book of Bond's book of praise is Son, S-O-N. Because thou gavest into mine own hand to exalt myself, O Jehovah, for perpetual resurrection shapest mine every part before I knew the way of the Almighty. Praise be to thee forever, saith the faithless, because thou providest from the ancient times for thy mighty word. From everlasting thou hast provided prophets to know the way of the omnipotent, to reveal the unseen heavens created by thee. Because thou hast kept alive the line of thy majesty in mortals, built a house for thy chosen, wide as the world. Faith in thee above all things in earth or in heaven, saith the faithless. When all the world beside faileth, thou, my Creator, standest before me, mighty and full of love. Thou alone, imperishable forever, and just and merciful. Praise be unto thee, Jehovah, who art greater than all. And that, my beautiful people, is our reading for today. It is the end of Bond's book of praise. And let me put my page number, and we have to go ahead and get out of here. Tomorrow we start the book, God's book of Eskra. All right, beautiful people. So that is it. I ain't going to take too much longer. It is Friday, September the 9th, 2022, day 208 of year 4, reading through the books of the Law and the Prophets, and of the 4-year consecutive day count, day 1226. And like I said, we just finished reading the rest of Bond's Book of Praise, found on Oahspe, page 579 to page 584. Let's see. This may, I don't know if it's selfish, but I think we need more of it, right? Because we can only get it from the Father. So, Father, pour out more of your wisdom. First of all, you are the source. You are the source of ultimate understanding, revelation, and you are the one who can. And you are the only one who can truly open up our soul, our intellect, and our understanding into even being able to recognize what truth is. We ask you for a little bit more of that wisdom while we help lift up our brothers and sisters to a higher light to really understand who you are and understand this wonderful world of being that you have created for your sons of light of your light to grow and be nurtured in. So with that, Father, we thank you. And we thank you now for the wisdom that you will give to us when we debate with our brothers and sisters. So that at the end of it, you truly win and everybody is raised to a higher light and nobody goes away upset, afraid, thinking they won over another. But Father, may you get the glory out of all of this. All right, beautiful people. And that's it for today. I love y'all. I'll see y'all back here tomorrow morning, 7:30 Saturday. We're going to be back at home tomorrow. About to get out of here and go catch this flight. I love y'all today. Come on, hit the end button, girl. Oh, y'all got your whole bags on ready to roll. Come on, Bella.
Oh, we have to leave.
Yes, we got to roll. Come on. Why ain't you got your shirt on, girl? All right. Love y'all. See y'all back here tomorrow morning, bright and early, 7:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Peace. Love y'all. Oh. Here you go. Do this. Here, in Facebook. Oh, wait. In Facebook. Here.